I've always tried on the rubber post, different durometer settings on the rubber or different knobs to accompany a hoof once we start getting into the wet weather. And the one thing that I've testing all that, and I owe this to another farrier, but I can't tell you who his name is. He just said, Kevin, I've got that one all figured out. You just put an old washcloth over the rubber cap. And when you put an old washcloth over the rubber cap, that foot will grab, the wettest foot will grab. So it's a very simplistic thing. Sometimes I'll even use a larger one so I can wipe down the dorsal wall to protect the life of my rafts in the winter when it's muddy and wet. So that's one thing that I've really learned that works really well. Everybody always says the straight post on a hoof support system it's a no-brainer. But also remember too that if you keep that post too far away from the horse, they're going to want to stretch on it and use it as a stretching post. If you keep your post too high, the horse is going to want to play what I call circus elephant and stand on it. So that's another thing, is that always keep your straight post close into the horse and a little bit lower. The idea is that you want to always flex your knees when you use the straight post. If you just bend from the waist and bring your straight post up high, thinking you're not going to have to bend over as much, you're actually going to hurt your back more. So you would like to have, when you're in the knee flex position, you would like the straight post at about the base of your kneecap. That way you're in an anatomical alignment that your stomach muscles can help support your back, and that's really important. I can honestly say I've done hundreds of demonstrations all over the world now, and I always ask, is the horse trained to pick up their feet? If they're not trained to pick up their feet, then they're not ready for the Hoofjack. But if they are trained, I have never ever been able not to do a demonstration if the horse is trained to pick up their feet with the Hoofjack. It's just sometimes just being persistent and working with them, and then they finally gain their trust. And as soon as they realize how stable it is, and how secure it is, and how soft the webbing is to the coronary band, they kind of just fall asleep in the barber's chair, is how I'd say. And the other one is that sometimes for the farrier, is that I'll say pick up that hoof, lay the hoof in the cradle, but don't set it all the way in the ground. And as the horse is moving around and testing it, then have it be right there for when they drop their foot in it. On the front, on the cradle, lots of times I'll have the client, or if I have an assistant with me, to come and just say, gently put your hand on the front of the horse's knee. And by that, then they can't pull it away as easy and pull it off. So those are two trips that normally I do.